He mopped the showroom floor quietly, until the manager barked at him in front of everyone, calling him just a janitor. But the manager didn't know this janitor wasn't here to clean. He was here to evaluate as the new owner, and in less than an hour, jobs would shift, masks would fall, and a dealership built on arrogance would face a reckoning. The morning sun filtered through the glass walls of the Prestige Auto showroom. Gleaming cars lined the polished floor, and employees buzzed around, preparing for another day of selling dreams on four wheels. Among them was Deshaun Carter, dressed in navy coveralls, pushing a mop bucket through the showroom. At first glance, he looked like the janitor, a man forgotten in the background. But beneath the uniform, Deshaun was a multi-millionaire entrepreneur, having recently acquired the entire chain of dealerships under a different name. Today, he visited the branch unannounced and incognito to observe the staff and culture before making any leadership decisions. That's when he met Mark Benson, the general manager, whose pride was as polished as the cars he sold. Wait a second, and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Deshaun quietly went about cleaning, listening to Mark speak to staff, how he talked down to the female receptionist, belittled the mechanics, and laughed off a customer who asked for a discount. Then came the moment that turned the day. As Deshaun moved to mop near the manager's desk, Mark snapped loudly, "Hey, you missed a spot back there. What's the matter? Too hard for you?" A few salesmen chuckled nervously. Deshaun smiled and nodded, saying, "I'll get to it, sir." Mark wasn't done. He turned to a customer and added, "These people always want a paycheck without doing real work." The words cut through the air like knives, drawing awkward glances from others in the showroom, but Deshaun remained calm. He quietly finished his task, then stepped outside to make a phone call that would change the entire atmosphere inside. 15 minutes later, a black SUV pulled up. A sharply dressed woman in heels stepped out, Rhonda Green, the regional director for the dealership network. She walked straight in and said, "I need everyone gathered now." Mark smirked as the employees assembled, assuming the visit was for routine business. That smirk vanished when Rhonda introduced the man who walked in behind her, now out of coveralls and dressed in a crisp, tailored suit. "This," she announced, "is Mr. Deshaun Carter, the new majority owner of Prestige Auto Group. He visited today undercover to observe this branch." The room froze. Mark's face drained of color as Deshaun stepped forward. "I came here today to learn more about how this place operates. I saw how some are treated, with disrespect, condescension, and racism. I heard every word." He turned directly to Mark. "You don't work here anymore." The silence was deafening. Mark tried to defend himself, but Rhonda cut him off. "Your behavior violated every value this company now stands for. You're dismissed effective immediately." Applause broke out from the staff, not just because Mark was gone, but because something rare had happened. Swift and unmistakable justice. Deshaun spent the next hour speaking with employees, asking for honest feedback, and promising changes. He rehired 2 mechanics who had quit due to poor treatment and promoted the receptionist to floor manager, citing her professionalism and customer skills. For the first time, the team felt seen. Word of what happened spread across the entire auto group. And, eventually, the internet. The story of the janitor, who turned out to be the owner, became a viral symbol of why character matters more than titles. Deshaun later said in an interview, "You never know who's watching or what they've been through. Respect isn't given based on status. It's earned by how we treat people, especially those we think we'll never need." And at that dealership, the floor still gleamed, but this time with dignity and new beginnings. If you enjoyed this story and found it thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in this situation? Your support helps bring more eye-opening stories to life. Take care.